George was a 64-year-old Englishman who had lived a simple but satisfying life. He had worked as a mechanic for over 40 years, fixing cars and vans for his loyal customers. He had never married or had children, but he didn't mind. He had his own cosy cottage in a small village in Somerset, where he enjoyed the peace and quiet of the countryside. He also had his best friend and companion, Molly, an 8-year-old brown dog who was always by his side. Molly was a mixed breed, but George liked to think she had some Labrador in her. She had a shiny brown coat, floppy ears, and a friendly face. She was loyal, smart, and always ready for an adventure. George had adopted her from a shelter when she was just a puppy. She had been abused by her previous owners and was scared of everything. George had given her a loving home and helped her overcome her fears. They had been inseparable ever since. One sunny morning in August, George decided to take Molly for a walk in the woods on the hills. It was a warm day with a clear blue sky and a gentle breeze. The temperature was around 22 degrees Celsius, perfect for a stroll. George loaded his white van with some water bottles, snacks, and a picnic blanket. He also brought his camera, as he liked to take pictures of the scenery and wildlife. He drove along the winding roads until he reached a parking spot near the entrance of the woods. He parked his van and got out with Molly, who wagged her tail excitedly. "Come on, girl, let's go explore," George said, putting on his hat and sunglasses. He grabbed a leash and attached it to Molly's collar. He locked his van and started walking towards the woods. The woods were full of life and beauty. George and Molly saw squirrels darting up the trees, birds singing in the branches, butterflies fluttering among the flowers, and rabbits hopping in the grass. They followed a dirt path that led them deeper into the forest. George breathed in the fresh air and felt a sense of peace and joy. He loved being close to nature and away from the noise and stress of the city. He stopped at a clearing where he saw a large oak tree with bench underneath it. He thought it would be a perfect spot for a picnic. He took off Molly's leash and let her run around freely. He spread his blanket on the ground and took out his water bottles and snacks. He poured some water into a bowl for Molly and gave her a biscuit. He then sat on the bench and ate his own sandwich. He watched Molly as she chased butterflies and sniffed flowers. She looked so happy and carefree. George smiled and felt a surge of love for his dog. She was his best friend and his family. He took out his camera and snapped some pictures of Molly playing in the clearing. He also took some pictures of the oak tree, the flowers, and the sky. He wanted to capture these moments and keep them forever. He finished his sandwich and called Molly over. She came running to him and licked his face. He hugged her and scratched her ears. "You're such a good girl, Molly," he said softly. "I don't know what I'd do without you." He lay down on the blanket with Molly beside him. He closed his eyes and felt the warmth of the sun on his skin. He listened to the sounds of the woods, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, the buzzing of insects. He felt relaxed and happy. He drifted off to sleep, dreaming of more adventures with Molly.